Hey everybody, it's John the Phone Guy here. We're going to do a redo of a sizing video I did a while back because after watching it a couple times I didn't like it. So here we go. We're going to do a sizing of the Invicta Sea Hunter Gen 2, as you can tell from the crown protector system. And it has the non-rubberized edge on it. So just in a quick few minutes, the idea, and this is already sized just in case someone's wondering, man, it looks awful small. So as you notice, most bracelets will have an arrow for direction. This one doesn't because it has what everyone refers to as a pin and sleeve or pin and collar or however you want to call it. So what I do is I usually will look at the link closest to the bracelet and figure out where this pin is. And then obviously in relationship, if you take this pin out, which I always try and start closest to the bracelet clasp. So then you go here, here, so on and so forth. So everything lines up. Now the way this one is going to work is there's going to be a pin and then there's going to be a little sleeve. So what I use is I've got a 7mm punch right here, and we're just going to set it right here. And as you're tapping through, the idea of why to use the smaller one will become apparent just as soon as we pop this out. So the idea is a lot of times most pin systems and bracelets are almost like a cotter pin or like a hairpin. So there's like a rounded edge and then the other side. This one uses, I'm just going to kind of push this out so we can get to it, is a pin right here and a sleeve right there. So as you'll notice, I'm going to try and see if I can get this zoomed in pretty good. So right there, there's a little notch. And inside there, it's going to be dented in. And then right there is the notch that fits inside. So when it's inside the bracelet, it's going to line up like that. So obviously it just goes right through. So the idea of why I always use a 7mm punch is because as you're going through the bracelet, you want this to be able to go straight through without damaging this sleeve. If you use a bigger one, it's going to mangle the end of this and you're going to have all kinds of problems. So it's not a difficult one. It just takes a little bit of patience, and be aware that if you're turning this, these may fall out. So just be absolutely sure that's back in there. And we just kind of grab. Now generally I try and keep the pin on the surface what I'm working on in the same direction that I pulled it out. I don't know, that's just me. And I always will use the soft end of the hammer to kind of set this, and I hold it by hand because I just find it easier in case there's a little bit of an alignment movement. It's easier to do it with your hand. And then we're going to set this here. And as you can see, the pin is just slightly pushed up right here. So then we're going to come in here and just kind of tap this guy back in place. And you'll feel a little, it'll give. And what that's doing is it's setting the pin back inside. So this side is flush. Well, it's actually below. And you could feel it just slightly just move in just a little bit. And that way you know that that notch and indentation in the sleeve is ready to go. Also, depending on the bracelets, some of these have some really good micro adjusters. What I do again is I use this 7mm because it really fits into almost any micro adjuster is you're just going to push down, just kind of straight as you can go, and you'll feel it give, and then you can move it, and of course you can see, whoops, there it is right there. And then do the other side. If you got to do more than one, it's safer to just do them one at a time and try and be as careful, because if you happen to pull this too far, the pin is going to go flying out of there. So now it's on the third one. And that's pretty much most of the adjustments on this. Of course, you know, standard scissor with the diver clasp for extra security and all of that. So Invicta Sea Hunter Gen 2, and we are all sized up. Give a quick shout out to some of the YouTubers that I follow is Trap Vision 3D, Tommy Big Time. Most of the watches that I purchase personally, I go through Evine or Invictastores.com. Some of the Facebook groups, as you can see, Invictaholics, Invictacruisers, and InvictaVets. A really good source of information and just general camaraderie about it. If you like any of these videos, I have a playlist of other watches that I've sized in the past, and also I'm on Instagram. My link is in the description below. And if you enjoy this, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care.